Welcome to episode 6 of your first book podcast. So, first off, whether you're listening or watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I thought that we could kick off the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, depending on when this is posted, together by discussing some fun author goals for 2024. The biggest shift of all being that I said author and not writer. So 2023 was definitely all about learning my writing process and delving into the craft and figuring out what direction I wanted to take the new Grad Magic series, which, speaking of, book 1 of the new Grad Magic series, Connecting Flights, is on schedule to be released in March of 2024. So if I decide to do a pre-order, I will let you know here. But in the meantime, you have March 2024 to look forward to so that you can buy your next vacation read. So, well, 2023 was messy and unpredictable and honestly just so rewarding for me as I revisited a hobby I had neglected for many years, which was writing. I want to approach 2024 with a different mindset and energy, which is going into 2024, simply deciding that I'm going to be an author, that I am an author, and creating that parallel career for myself. So I'm going to share my top 10 2024 goals, writer goals. You have some bonus life ones in there too during this episode that will help me build up my author career as a new indie author. But first, I want to expand a bit on what I mean by parallel career. So I do currently work full-time as an occupational therapist, and I get to do a lot of really fun mental health stuff. And I've worked in many settings in this field, but I recently accepted a new job and I love this setting so much that I'm not thinking about leaving the field, and at least not anytime soon. And I noticed that a lot of authors I read are also professionals who write fiction on the side, either for fun, extra income, or both. And one that recently comes to mind is Frida McFadden, who is a popular thriller author who some of you might be aware of. And now she has so many books out, like definitely more than 10 books out, and she has been writing for years. But recently her books blew up and she practices in medicine full time. But on the side, she's writing these like crazy, twisty, fun thrillers. Highly recommend Never Lie and The Housemaid if you're into thrillers. And so she's just one of those people I admire who like, wow, you have an author career, but you're also like standing strong in your like original career, your original field. Someone else that comes to mind is a fellow booktuber, and that is Andrea J. Severson. Oh my goodness. If you're watching this, Andrea, I'm so sorry. But she came to mind because she is a fellow author tuber, but she also works in academia, right? And from what I can gather from Andrea's blogs, like she loves that work that she does, but she is also pursuing being an author. And the third example that comes to mind is Lisa Genova, who I believe has a PhD in neuroscience, but she writes fiction novels kind of like surrounding that. Like her fiction novels have involved characters who have had a stroke or characters who have autism. So she does take kind of like her general knowledge in her field and then applies it to her wonderful books. Actually, the first book I ever read by her was called Left Neglected, and it features an OT, which is really exciting. When I read it, I don't even think I knew what the OT field was, but Left Neglected is a really good read. Her books are very engaging. So that's just what I think of when I think of parallel author career. It's someone that has a career they already enjoy, but they want to be an author too, because why not? If it's available to you and that's something you want, why not? So well, you might be thinking of an author career as something you can do on the side. That does make total sense for me too. Like I am doing it on the side, but the reason I like the words parallel author career is because I like the notion of like it being side by side and equally as important as my current career that I've invested, I think, at least 8 years into now. So, and I just love the weight that the word career provides. It sets me up for a higher standard. And I don't want to just throw an ebook on Amazon and call it a day. Like my ebook will be on Amazon, but I want to write like a really fun and enjoyable series for people to just enjoy on their next vacation. And I've been thinking kind of about my author tagline a lot. And I think it is going to be something along the lines of writing books for people to enjoy on their next vacation, like you just heard. So something fun and immersive, right? And after that, I want to keep writing books. Like I want my skills as a writer to get better and better with each book I write. And I just want to dive into this industry headfirst, knowing nothing from the beginning, honestly, and absorb everything there is to learn. So I don't have an English degree, and the only like credit to my name is a blue duotang I passed back and forth during class when I was 12 in order to finish a 150-page story about an elf going on a quest. But I think a lot of authors or writers have this story where they just, for fun, they just wrote some sort of story as a kid and they loved it, right? I took creative writing in high school, but once I started college or university, I didn't write anymore. So while I don't have the formal experience for writing, I am just so excited to learn and learn and learn and learn. And there are so many resources at our fingertips that we can reach for, especially with the internet, that I really do think that anyone can write a book if it's something that they want bad enough and are determined to learn. When I tell my friends and family that I'm writing a book, the first thing that they'll say to me is like, wow, like that's so cool. Like, I wish I could write a book. Like, and my response will be to them, or to you if you're thinking that as well, is that you can. You can. So I know that the speech about a parallel author career turned a little bit into a love letter about writing, I'll admit it, but my point is I don't want to identify as a writer who is still working on their book only to find myself at a family dinner 10 years later with no published book, but still saying I'm still working on my book. And speaking of still working on your book, I am currently accepting practicum clients as I work my way through a book coaching certification. These services are currently free of charge. They will not be for long, but I'm going to help you take your idea for a book and get it into a tangible outline so that you can work on your book and finish your book. All details on how to apply to work with me. I'm only looking for a total of 3 practicum clients as I complete the certification. But if you would like to apply, and if you think that we would be a good fit to work together, the links for the application will be either in the show notes or in the YouTube description. So back to I don't want to be the I'm still working on my book person, right? So over the holidays, I watched this cheesy Christmas movie called Happiest Christmas. It has Kristen Stewart in it, and the fate of one of the characters is that she's so excited about her book. She tells everyone about her book, but she keeps getting comments like, "You're still working on that? Like, it's been like 6 years." Spoiler alert, her character arc is resolved, and she eventually ends up publishing the book and having a launch party. But I just have this image of like, I don't want to be working on the first book forever. I want to actually publish the thing, right? Like, I don't want to wait 6 years to publish my first book. So I started writing Connecting Flights in 2023, and it will be published in 2024. And I will celebrate, and I'll continue to learn more skills that will support my parallel author career while I also work full-time as an occupational therapist, things that I am equally proud of, right? So let's get into my 10 author goals for 2024. I genuinely hope that they can inspire you to pursue a parallel author career as well. And yeah, we're just going to go down the list. The first goal is I just want to work on building my writing muscle. My writing muscle had a hate-love relationship with it in 2023, But deadlines will change that very quickly. But I had many days where I was like, I don't want to open the document. I just don't want to write. Like, I'm scared of the blank page, all that stuff. If this is you, I highly recommend you check out the video when your first draft feels impossible to finish it. That's what I was going through a lot. And I just want to get in a habit of even just like opening my document every day, just sitting down to write. I don't care if it's like half a page, 1 page, 3 pages, 10 pages. I just want that to be a normal part of my routine. Goal number 2 is I want to work on building my author team. I made a lot of mistakes where I hired certain types of editors way too in advance, and then I had to rewrite the whole thing. So all that hard work that they put into one of those drafts, I'm not even using. So my author team is going to include like a small but mighty team of advanced reader copy readers or advanced review copy readers. Currently, I think I have 3 to 4 people. That's pretty solid. Editors, like editors that I know, okay, I'm reaching out to them for book 2, right? Cover designers, if I have some main ones, and like overall just knowing who to reach out to. Goal number 3 is I want to create ongoing book hype versus only initial book hype. So like the first book, Connecting Flights, it's out in March, right? March 2024. You're going to see a lot of hype until then. It's going to be fun. I'm going to keep talking about this book. But by ongoing book hype is that I just want to keep talking about the book even after it's released. Like there's no reason not to, right? And I just want to reach readers who are excited for the new Grad Magic series and to read my books. Number 4 is that I want to develop a self-care plan for when the inevitable bad reviews come in. Goodreads terrifies me. On one hand, I am so excited to be able to have an author page on Goodreads. Like that, just that imagery really excites me. But every single book I have enjoyed or read reviews on YouTube, every single book, even the most popular books, they all get bad reviews. And I am worried that as a newbie and my first book, when I get a bad review, that I'm going to take it personally, even though I know that this series will not be for everyone. I'm just a little bit worried about my reaction. So I just want to be prepared for that. Number 5 is I also want to build my thinking muscle for outlining. As this year, I realized that outlining scenes helped me write scenes more efficiently. I was so stubborn this year, I think. Like if you listen to the episode about working with cover designers, you'll have heard my story about how I was so stubborn on wanting to stick with one cover even though it didn't reflect the genre. I kind of did the same with outlining. I just thought, I don't need an outline. I'll just write and see where the story takes me. But like if I spend 1 to 2 hours sitting and thinking of the story and the outline and asking myself, but why would this character react this way? Why? It takes a long time. Sometimes it feels non-productive because it's not pages written. But once I have that, I'm just such a faster writer because I know where things are going. So I can think about alternating thinking days and writing days. Goal number 6 is that I want to keep my promise of writing and finishing the new Grad Magic series. Again, first book is out in 2024. Goal number 7 is that I want to finish my book coaching certification by July 2024. This is really not a self-imposed deadline. It's just literally that is the deadline that the program gave to me to finish all my work. And again, I am looking for practicum clients. So if you want to know more about that, do check out the description or the show notes. Goal number 8 is I want to get my book in libraries. Goal number 9 is that I want to continue this podcast, to continue documenting the progress of this series or building my author career and redecorate this office space. This is like, you can't see it, but there's a huge mess to the side of me. But as you can see, there's nothing here. It's just all white walls. There's no personality here. So keep an eye on this. Hold me accountable. If you see me like in the next 10 episodes and there's still nothing on that wall, put a comment in the YouTube description. But I need to add more personality here. And number 10 is just to continue reading good books. And so as someone who loves writing, it's really important to me to also enjoy reading good books and holding on to that feeling of just finishing a good book or just starting a book that you can't put down. Like, those types of books that like you're reading, but you have to go to dinner, you have to go somewhere, you have to wait in line, but you just take the book with you. Like, I want to hold on to that feeling. It's the type of book that you recommend to your friends multiple times, even if they don't really read. I want to hold on to that feeling because I want to write those types of books. And those are my 10 author goals, but I wanted to share 3 non-writing goals with you. So the first one being, I just want to continue to seek out new experience, travel more, even if I'm just going to a new restaurant, as these always spark more productive and enjoyable writing times, keeps my brain happy, keeps the synapses firing. And first on my list is to visit a Nordic spa in Eastern Canada. Bonus goal number 2 has been ongoing for a while, but to refresh my wardrobe, wear colors that are more suitable to me. I've recently started wearing more pink, and as someone who never really exhibited an interest in fashion growing up, it has just been so fun to learn about style and the colors that work for me. I'm currently attending online fashion school of sorts, and I hope to actually finish that program this year and like physically organize my wardrobe. So those are the 2 bonus life goals and my 10 author goals as I embark on building my parallel author career as an indie author. And I do encourage you to think of some of your own goals for building your author career, as it is totally possible for you to write and publish a novel. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.